In this week's tutorial, I'm using this beautiful lantern to create a stunning design for Christmas. If this is something that you would like to learn how to do, then keep watching today's video. Welcome back to another video. If you haven't been here before, my name is Sharon and these set of videos leading up to Christmas 2024 are designed to make flower arranging easy for you at home. Today's design is maybe a bit ambitious if this is the first time you've arranged flowers, but it's a really good one if you've got a little bit of experience or you want to create quite an impressive or large design for home or for your local place of worship. Now, my mechanics today are maybe a bit complicated, but I've got a full block of dried floral foam here and a full block of wet foam on the side. And the reason for the two dried pieces of foam is because I want to sit my lantern and candle there in the middle. And I'm going to do quite a tall arrangement that's going to come down here on the side to create something that will be gorgeous for Christmas. Now I need to bear in mind that should I choose to light the candle, I need to be able to open and close this door. So I don't want to come too close to the front section. I need to keep my flowers a bit lower down. My foam is on the side. It is wedged in quite securely in there, but if you feel like you're going to be transporting this maybe to the church or to a friend's house, then you might want to secure that more efficiently. And the reason I paused was because now I'm thinking, do I need a smaller piece of foam in the front? And the reason I was doubting my choice was because I have these lovely pieces of lichenized branches, which I want to use to give me some height there at the back. And now I'm thinking that by the time I've put those in the foam, it's not going to give me a lot of room for my fresh flowers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wedge down the back another piece of dry foam. If you've touched dry foam, you know it's got a horrible feeling to it. But by wedging that down at the back, now it gives me the option to place the lichenized branch into the dry foam. Now it doesn't matter if the branch doesn't take up any water because it is dry. And the beautiful silvery grey lichen on it is going to pick up on the colour of my flowers and on the colour of my lantern. And these have just been picked while out walking from a tree that had lost its branches during a couple of windy nights. And what I'm also going to do is lower this down. And now that you've seen my mechanics, I've lowered the arrangement down and hopefully you can see the top of the branch. So that's the height of my arrangement. What I'm then going to do is reuse some of these lovely snowy branches just to add in some extra height. And these were used in that previous design. If you haven't seen that before, I'm going to link it here in the cards. And what you can consider is anything that's like a branch or a twig from the garden doesn't necessarily have to go in the fresh foam. So you could always place it in a pin holder or some dried foam like I've done. And that then helps to add in a bit of height, and because I've come backwards into the foam as well, it's given me some depth and it helps to create that three-dimensional look. Now I've had some fabulous greenery in this week because we are starting to do the wreath making classes, and one of those foliages that I've had in is this gorgeous cedar. It's a lovely light grey colour, goes perfectly with my lantern. And what I'm going to do with this is take it up towards the back as well. So we've got a lovely bit of height at the back, and I've just scored part of the bark away because that means that the rounded stem isn't going to spin and rotate so much in my foam. And I'm going to bring that over slightly to the side. It's lovely and curved and it's going to fit beautifully in amongst those lichenized branches. And with the same material, I'm going to look for one that's got a nice shape to it. I'm going to drape it down over the front. Now, if you're not planning on opening your lantern, then you haven't got to worry about the angle of the greenery at the front. But if you do want to open and close it to get into that candle, then leave yourself enough room. And I'm just going to pop a few pieces there. So almost going to be an L shape. That has a gorgeous wintry feel without me putting any flowers in. And for those of you that maybe don't have access to many fresh flowers, but you can get hold of greenery, you might want to consider creating a design with fresh greeneries, branches and seed heads and anything that you can collect or forage for. And then you could use some artificial flowers just to create the colour and set the feeling or the mood for Christmas. You don't necessarily have to use fresh flowers all the time. I have quite a few girls that come here to do classes with me, and they invest in some really good quality silk flowers and use them every now and again, particularly this time of the year, to fill in and to introduce some colour or some texture to the design. Now here I'm using some hemlock and some pine. This one is needle pine, and this is helping cover my base and create a bit of texture there at the bottom and make sure that all my floral foam is covered. Now if you haven't been to the channel before, my name is Sharon and I have a YouTube channel full of exciting tutorials, more basic than this and full-on tutorials. Some are more basic than this, some are a little bit more technical, but they're aimed at anybody that wants to learn to do traditional floral design. And more often than not, I use supermarket flowers so that all the designs that I teach are available for total beginners and not just those of you that get hold of expensive florist grade flowers. Now this material here is Ami Majus. Usually we would see this in the summer and it would grow quite nicely in the UK. And what I like about this one, you might have noticed I stopped to look at it, is that it has a nice shape to it, and I think that is going to work really nicely here over towards the side, maybe a bit too long. So over towards the side and down towards the front. Now it does give a very different set of proportions to our normal symmetrical balance, but the shape of it was just perfect to drape down over the front. Now if you saw that other video, my other flower choice are these fantastic large blooms and some gorgeous white roses. I've also got a white lily, which I don't think I'm going to put in this arrangement, and some spray carnations. Now because a spray carnation is a small flower, it's a spray flower, it's going to work much better towards the outside of the arrangement than towards the middle. It's in the middle that we have the focal flowers or the larger flowers. And before I put in the larger flowers, I'm going to add in these lovely silvery twigs. These were bought at the supermarket as well, but they are quite easy to do if you've got anything in the garden that you can spray silver. You just need to pop into a hobby style shop and choose some silver or gold. And really what I'm trying to do is link the colour of the arrangement with the colour of my container. And I'm trying to make the arrangement more dominant than my lantern, because in traditional floral design, your accessories are the less dominant feature. But I'm loving that so far. That is really quite elegant and quite sophisticated. Now these roses are just perfect. I would guess this is probably a white avalanche. We really should remove the guard petals from the outside because they can look a bit damaged and a bit unsightly. But you will often see that I leave them on because I really love the interesting colours that you get on the outside of the guard petal. And sometimes if you take too many off, the rose almost looks like it's artificial and it looks like it's been tampered with. Look at the size on that. Isn't that just amazing? So nice big rose. This one is the bigger one, so that's going to come more towards my focal point. And then this one, which is slightly smaller, there's not much in it, is going to come on the end. More towards the front, I suppose, than towards the end. And really what I'm thinking about doing is just spreading out the colour and the texture quite evenly, but ensuring that the bigger flowers are more towards the middle because that's the focal point and the more dominant section. It makes such a difference when you're making a Christmas arrangement if you're able to get hold of all those wintry evergreens, because it does give your arrangement that lovely Christmas feeling. And I just can't believe the size on that. That's just huge. Now, if you don't have a supermarket that sells flowers, I know that many viewers don't have supermarkets that sell good quality flowers, then you need to think about ordering things from a florist shop. And really what I've got here is 3 big blooms, 3 big roses, 2 spray carnations, and that lily that I'm not going to use in the design today. And then we've got 3 of the softer, more lacy looking Ami Majors. And if you choose to copy it, think about the scale of the lantern. The lantern is big. It would be no good putting dainty, delicate flowers in here because the scale wouldn't work. But these great big chrysanthemum blooms really connect nicely. And that's what we call elements and principles of design. And if you're not sure about those, you will find that I have a PDF document that explains all of the elements and principles of design. And you'll find that in the shop section of the website, which I can link quite easily down here. Remember also that if you have big flowers, you need to have a larger piece of floral foam, or you need to go with chicken wire. Can't use a small piece of foam to accommodate all these big stems. You need to have something that's quite substantial. And then I'm going to finish by reusing those 2 delightful snowflakes just in this area here grouped together, because I don't have a flower to bring out at the side to create some width. But I do have these amazing snowflakes, and I've just wired them onto a florist wire so that will insert nicely into the foam. I don't have any foam visible at the back, so I don't need to fill in. I did that right at the very beginning, but I think that's a fantastic design for design number 2, using these amazing white flowers. If you haven't got a lantern like me, you can still take inspiration from the shape. Now, don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, you need to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell to be told every time I upload a new tutorial. Comment in the box below, like and share to help other people find me, and I look forward as ever to seeing you for the next video very soon. Thanks for watching, and goodbye for now.